Good morning. Welcome in. This is your Monday, the 15th of September daily spiritual guidance message. Can you believe it is the middle of September already? It is absolutely crazy. I don't know where the weeks are going. It just seems like I go from Monday to Monday and in a blink of an eye, and I have no idea what happened in between. So really important that we try and take a little bit of time to ourselves and sort of tune in to what's going on with us and not just being swept away with time, because I just feel like times like the 24-hour clock doesn't seem to matter anymore. It just seems to like go like this. So grounding's very important. So I feel that's a message for today. Later on today I am going to start doing the mid September readings. So if it's something you're interested in, if you want to hit the subscribe button and press the bell, you'll be notified when I release those. And I'll be dropping some throughout the week. I won't be doing all 12 signs in one day, but I will release them during the week. So first up today will be Virgo. Since we're still in Virgo season, we'll start with Virgo since it's their last birthday week, really. And then we'll do Libra later on today as well. So if that's something you're interested in, subscribe and hit the bell. So for Monday the 15th, what does the collective need to know? What do we need to know for today? What is the energy for Monday the 15th of September? Wow. Like where has this year went? Trust the call, number 44. Okay. Trust the call. So trust with where you're being led to go, what you're seeing, what you're hearing. Trust it. I want to say if people are showing you who they are, trust it. There's something about that. Let this be your sign. Yeah, 37. There's something here about starting to see through illusions here. But 44 is a protected number, and 37 here as well. So it sort of feels like it's, see this taking time out here in this sort of serene environment might bring some clarity. Trust the call. Let this be your sign. The precious, the precious present moment. That is not easy to say for me anyway. Bring yourself into the moment. 29. Getting caught up in sort of the day to day things and not tuning in. You are brilliant. Number 30. Quite high numbers here, I want to say. 44, 37, 29, and 30. No, we're quite high up the chain of numbers here. Or maybe more, should I say, in the middle. We're kind of feeling in the middle of something, maybe. We're not at the start and we're not at the end. We're kind of in the middle. 9, throat release. So something that you might need to speak up about here. Something you've been keeping quiet about and you've just been kind of going with it here to the point that maybe it's like, right, I can't do this anymore. I need to sort of two very peaceful cards here of serene. There's another one, inspiration hunt. 24, another sort of serene. There's definitely something about taking time out here and seeing what's going on around you. Underneath that is spacious mind and soul. Starting to tune back into you. I want to say it kind of feels a little bit here about changing the season, starting to prepare now for autumn coming in. Might have something to do with the equinox now at the end of the month. It's coming in now. Is 20, is it the 22nd? Because I think it might be just after the new moon here. Let me see. September, September, September. Where are you? I have a feeling it's the 22nd. Does it tell me? Will you tell me? Hmm. Let me see if it says here anywhere on the 22nd. Doesn't say. I'm nearly certain the equinox is around the 22nd, which is, equal day and night. It's the shift. That's when we start to go into autumn. I have a feeling it is the 22nd because we have the new moon the 21st into the 22nd, depending where you live. And then the equinox is after that. So there might be something here about preparing yourself for the new season here and sort of going, right, what's been happening can't continue on. It's a new season, we got to change things. Six of Wands here. A new way of seeing things, a new way of putting yourself forward here. Seven of Pentacles here. Wanting to invest in something else here. Page of Pentacles. Or not even reinvest or invest in something else. It's sort of, it feels like a change in how you want to do something here. Ace of Wands. If you've been feeling up in your head and kind of like not knowing if you're coming or going, you need to start to schedule something into your day where you can get 5-10 minutes to yourself that you can just sit in quiet, have a cup of tea or coffee, and just silence the mind and just go, right, show me what I need here, open the path for me, but be aware enough that if they do float something in, that you see it. I talked about manifesting before and about people sort of going, right, I want 10 grand in my bank in the morning. And they wake up in the morning and the 10 grand's not in the bank. But they fail to see something that floated by that was like, do you fancy doing a new course? Have you thought about changing careers? Have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? They missed what was put in front of them, which was their opportunity to get their 10 grand or more, and they fail to see it. So when you sit in the quiet and you ask them for clarity, afterwards make sure your eyes are open, that everything that comes through your phone, comes through your laptop, your computer, through your TVs, what people say to you, things you see, make sure that you're taking it in, because that's often how they answer you. King of Wands. Fair amount of fire energy here. So there is a kind of that passionate sort of creative side here, a tower. Feels just like this, seeing this tower, how it's sort of like, I don't know if you can see it well because my light's kind of weird today with it being a bit duller outside. But it's sort of like there's smoke coming out of it, but it's kind of like a little bit of a whirlwind there too. Feels like that's just what's been sort of going on here, and we might be missing the answer here because we're just not taking a little bit of time out for us. The Chariot, the Emperor, there's the Boss, and the Star. Have to be careful now because apparently they were always funny about what tarot cards could be shown anyway, but I think YouTube are really stepping down on the Lovers card and the World card because there's a little bit of nudity, and God forbid. you know, given a lot of the stuff that's on TV, God forbid that you happen to see a tarot card that has like two naked cartoon characters on it, you know what I mean? Anyway, um, there's something here about just there may be something that kind of comes your way here that kind of makes you sit down. And I'm not saying that in a way of to make scare anybody or anything. It's just there's something that just sort of it's not a massively big thing. It's something that just makes you reevaluate. Nine of Cups. What is it I want? There's something that comes into play here that you might just have to sort of maybe I don't know, maybe it's something like a job. Maybe there's a bit of if there's been talk of redundancies in your work or something like that, it might be something that comes to play that way. But everything's a blessing, so it was meant to happen because there's somewhere else you're meant to be. Nine of Swords. Perhaps there's a little bit of anxiety about this. We've the Nine of Cups and the Nine of Swords. There's a wish fulfillment here, and there's anxiety about it. So, I mean, if it's something to do with the job, for instance, yes, obviously we're going to be concerned about finances and, we've all bills to pay. But I think it's a wee bit of like in my head, am I strong enough to take this next step? The Fool. There you are. Yes, you are. Am I strong enough to take this leap into this new area that I want to do? There's something here, whatever this has been, it's been trying to come through to you for a while. And with everything that has been going on and the daily grind of life, your mind has not been peaceful enough to get the download through. Three of Pentacles. And they've been trying and trying and trying. And there's something that comes into play here. Three of Wands. That kind of then puts you it kind of leaves you no choice. It's like, right, are you going to go back into this rat race of doing something that you're not really that into, but it pays bills? Or are you going to take the chance here with the Fool card? Are you going to take the chance and do what you've always wanted to do? Page of Cups. I said there's a lot of fire energy here, so there's a lot of creative passion here. So it's something that, design. I just want to look at the Page of Cups here. I always am fascinated with him and his easel and his sort of artwork and stuff. It's something like quite, I wouldn't say I'm feeling like design or something. So I don't know if I just got like interior design come through and like web design came through. And it's like, it's something that, takes an eye for color and an eye for how things are laid out and stuff like that. So that might be for somebody, not for everybody. Take it as it resonates. King of Cups. Something here that's going to really balance the sort of emotions here. Seven of Cups. Feel whatever this sort of endeavor brings in for you gives. You might not see at the start how many options it's going to open up for you. Ace of Swords. And that, my friend, is the truth. You may not see the Hermit, the wise one, the doors that it's going to open for you. This is what I'm talking about when we were talking about the manifesting and when you sit with the clarity and you ask them to show you stuff. This is what you need to keep your eyes open for. The things that they put in front of you, the opportunities they put in front of you. Do you see them? Is your eyes open enough to see them? Is Hermit here's getting more in tune with his or her sort of energy, how she feels, how he feels. Trusting your intuition more, trusting the voice in you of what's right for you, and not sort of listening to this Five of Wands energies, this outside sort of influence. Doesn't have to be. That can be the voices in your head, telling you that you're not good enough or not capable of doing this new pursuit. Overcoming them. One thing I will say, when I started this path back in 2022, sorry, well, I started training mid 20, towards the end of 2021, and I started the business spring 2022. I told very few people about it because I knew they wouldn't really understand. And I didn't want, I knew what I was doing and I knew it was the right thing for me, and I didn't want to hear any negativity or people trying to say, that's stupid, why are you doing that? I knew that I was doing the right thing. So that might be something for you, of if there's something here you're wanting to pursue, don't don't tell too many people about it. You don't need this in your ear. We have enough of this in our own head without bringing other people into play to tell us, oh, that's a silly idea. I wouldn't do that. That's not going to work. Knight of Wands says who them. How do they know? How do they know it's not going to work? Are they worried in case it does work? The Hierophant. So that might be something just to bear in mind, just to be sort of aware of here. It's something here definitely to do with higher learning, you know, seeing what sort of um what's open to you here. Queen of Wands. Here you are. Masculine or feminine, doesn't matter. Full creative energy mode here. So there's something going to come into play here that opens the door to pursuing something that you have. I feel it's something that you've always kind of wanted to do and sort of felt. I mean, it could be, I get this very strong, something to do with like colours and how things are set out, but I mean, it could be like acting or something too. It could be singing, it could be music. It's something creative here. It's not, it's something where you feel it into existence. It's not just let's sit and do a couple of databases. It's you have to put, like, it has to come from the heart. You have to put your energy into it. Writing could be something to do with writing. Could be something to do with comedy. Maybe you've always wanted to do, I don't know, stand up comedy or something like that, or write a comedy. There's something here that actually takes a different type of vision, but it has to come from here. This is what this kind of grounding thing is about here, and starting to listen to the voice inside. And I'm not taking all these. There, I'll put that one. And getting yourself trusting the voice that's coming inside, trusting what's coming before you, closeness and distance. Hmm. I feel this is to do with like how 110. It's like it's closer than you think it is. Achieving this new pursuit, it's closer than you think. Right, let's read this. Key themes: allowing closeness, escaping from relationships, interplay of closeness and distance, recognizing difficulties and finding the origin. The relationship potential lies in the fact that the origin of closeness and distance can be traced and worked on. The adventure. You may know situations in which someone you are very close to suddenly distance themselves from you. Maybe you're waiting for news or a phone call. Maybe you have been waiting for some time. Not only are we left in complete uncertainty as to whether we will ever hear from this person again, but at the beginning, we may still be afraid that something might have happened. We rack our brains to understand why the other person doesn't get in touch, looking to blame ourselves until perhaps at some point we give up hope. Then again, it may be that just when we no longer believe that this is the case, this person suddenly seeks contact with us again and also manages to establish a great closeness to us once more, only to disappear again without a trace. How does the theme of closeness and distance currently show up in your love life? If this card fails in a position related to future predictions, then it holds out the prospect that closeness and distance will be the central themes in relation to your question. I don't feel that this reading is about a relationship. I feel this is about you sort of going back and forth here on something that you've always wanted to do, and it's kind of been putting it in the back burner, and now there's something coming into play here that's going to bring it to the forefront again. Behind the scenes, people who feel they must flee from a potential partner are usually afraid. Whether they are aware of the fear is questionable. Often the act of fleeing is an inner impulse that they follow. This is maybe something you have been scared of, putting yourself out there and putting yourself forward. What they are afraid of varies. It can be the fear of closeness or the fear of admitting feelings or other fears related to love and relationships. When we are in this emotional stage of fear, stress hormones are released that cause us to go in flight or fight mode. We unconsciously switch to survival mode even though there is no physical danger that could threaten our lives. However, if we go into survival mode or out of fear of being abandoned or fear of being hurt, this survival mode does not ensure that we can build a real relationship, but rather that we might lose it sooner or later. How long this state of fear lasts depends on how long the danger is perceived. It is interesting, however, when a person returns, usually when the other, when a person returns, usually when the other one left, but sorry, try it again. When a person returns, usually when the one left behind has given up hope of seeing them again. So I do feel that. I feel it's something to do here with you have a fear around this, and it's like you keep pushing it to the back, but it keeps reappearing. And it's a little bit of a dance that you've been doing with yourself inside your head. But there's something going to come into play here now that's going to bring it right to the forefront again. And it's almost this kind of feeling of now or never. Are you going to do it, or are we letting it go? So I'm going to take a deeper look at this. If you feel this is your story, I'm going to look at what we don't see coming, what the blockages are here, what the outcome's going to be, and then we'll get some angelic advice. So if you want to come along, the link will be below, and I will see you over there.